Hey students, this is Professor Gore. I just want to welcome you guys to World History 1 for the spring semester. If this is the first time I've had you in class, welcome. Glad to have you in class for the first time. For those that I've had previously in previous semesters, glad to have you again. Obviously, if you're taking it again, you liked the class the first time. But the purpose of making this video not only is to welcome you to class and put a face with the name, because I know with the online class you don't ever really get to interact with the professor face to face like you would in an on-campus class, which I personally enjoy because I teach full time. But also the second reason is to explain how to receive an extension. So I know I've taught online classes since 2012. So over the past 5.5 years, I've basically, I've learned that a lot of my students are working full time, have a family, and trying to go back to school part time or even full time. A lot of you are traditional students at SAU as well. So it doesn't matter which group you're in. I just want to kind of go over how to receive an extension. So to be upfront, I'm very understanding if you communicate with me in advance. Okay, so let's do it for instance. Let's say you have a film assignment or a test due on a Thursday night. It's Wednesday night. You have come down with a stomach bug, or one of your children have come down with a stomach bug, and you are feeling terrible. You're up all night, and then you have something for work on Thursday night that would prevent you from working on the assignment. Or you're not going to feel like you're going to be able to watch the whole film and get everything done. Send me an email. Send it to my name, John Gore, at saumag.edu, and explain your situation. Say, Professor Gore, this is what's happening. I'm not going to be able to complete this assignment on time. May I please have an extension? I know it's due on Thursday night. I can have this to you Friday by noon, or Friday before midnight or something. And I realize that there are extenuating circumstances that prevent you from even emailing me. Let's say you have a death in the family, you've lost a loved one. Obviously, college classes are going to be the last thing on your mind in that moment. Or you had to go to the ER, you take a child to an ER, you're not going to be able to communicate with you. You're worried about getting yourself or your child, okay first. That's completely understandable. But if it's after the fact, then I'm going to require that you send me documentation, program from a funeral, ER discharge papers. And I'm understanding so long as you provide evidence. And what I'm not understanding with is if you don't communicate with me in advance, it's the day after the assignment's due, I'm emailing you and say, hey, so-and-so, why'd you not complete this assignment? And you come up with some excuse. No matter how valid it is, if you don't provide evidence, you're going to receive a 0. So I'm very understanding with extensions so long as you communicate with me in advance. I usually have students over the years that have email me. It's like, Mr. Gore, I'm going to be out of town for work. I'm going to do as much as I can to try to complete my assignments before I leave. There's a chance my hotel I may not have computer access to my hotel. May I have an extension till the weekend when I get back and I get this completed? And the answer has always been yes. So communicate with me in advance. That's the key. Also, a lot of you may live in rural areas where your internet is kind of hit or miss. I grew up in rural Arkansas, so I completely understand that. So let's say you're in the middle of a test and your internet goes out. Blackboard, unfortunately, once you get kicked out, doesn't let you go back in and pick up where you left off. Sometimes it will, but usually not. And so what you need to do is send me an email, explain what happened, and then I can go in and clear your temp, and you'll have to start over from scratch. But I usually go in there and see where you were in the test, so you're not just making this up, and so forth. And that happens sometimes on quizzes too, but usually it happens on longer assignments with tests. Just about 90-something% of my students have a smartphone with internet on it. So even if your internet at home goes out and your Wi-Fi goes out, you can still send me an email from your phone explaining the situation about what's causing you to prevent completing the assignment. I'm not going to penalize you for technical difficulties. Your internet's not working at home, but you still need to try to email me from your phone, explain what's happening, and say, hey, Mr. Gore, I know this is due on Thursday, even if it's 11 o'clock Thursday night and it's due by midnight, and your internet cuts out. Send me an email and say, hey, I'm going to get to the library on Friday and get this done. Can you please grant me an extension? So the key is communicate with me in advance, explain what's going on, ask for an extension, and I'm very understanding. So yet again, welcome to World History 1 at SAU for the spring semester. Looking forward to having each of you in class, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.